Hello, Professor Cawthorn. This is Eric Daniels with my Week 3 video for Intro to Python. So for this week, I believe you wanted us to kind of bounce around with idle, and in one of your videos, I believe you mentioned that we would be allowed to use any IDE or editor that we so chose, but you were telling us to preference idle specifically. I have a couple friends now that have gone through the computer science program, and what was actually recommended to me was to use Visual Studio Code. In my wiki, I believe I mentioned that I had been using PyCharm for a little bit, but PyCharm felt very heavy and just kind of bogged down with a lot of options that I wasn't necessarily going to need quite yet, so I opted for Visual Studio Code, which I have been enjoying. Definitely feels a lot more lightweight, bit easier to play around with, in my opinion. So, and then this is my week 3 practice. I have 2 documents that I'll show you. So some of this is just basic, just playing around with strings, testing the input function, which I did not get to work. Let's see what else. A little bit of just printing text and trying to get everything to kind of morph together into one sentence by creating it as an object. And then I'll move on to this. And this was just a little bit more work. I did a lot of the W3, I forget what it's called, W3Schools. I did a lot of the interactive code that was in there that it would ask you a question. Generally, it was a lot of questions about the split or the length of a string, uppercase, lowercase, simple things like that. So I played around with that a little bit. I think I actually went a little bit further than you had posted. I just went a little bit further in the website, but I felt that was very, very helpful to me, kind of getting a better idea of like what you can do with strings and how you can kind of manipulate them with certain keywords that, I mean, I didn't memorize all of them, of course, but just the insight was definitely helpful. Gave me kind of somewhere to start when I get confused, to at least like kind of give me a footing to like look around and kind of understand what I should be looking for and like the things that you can do. But yeah, I felt week 3 was fairly successful. A lot of it, obviously, you couldn't see some like the work I do in the W3. I could have copied it over to my editor, but I didn't think of it until the end. But I played around with it a little bit, but yeah, I mean, I felt this week was very productive. And that would be about it for my week 3 video. Thank you.